1977, George Lucas formed a legacy.
The Force is with me, and I am with the Force.
Inspired by mythology, his saga has become a passion for many.
Feel the Force around you.
His legend has become our story.
It's true. All right.
One of resistance.
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down.
Rebellion.
Rebellion is built on hope.
And redemption.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is Star Wars Reactions.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Star Wars Reactions. We have a fun episode for you this evening. We're going to sit here and we're going to break down the first 4 episodes of Star Wars Visions. So we're excited about that. So let's get things going. My name is Aaron Harris, and joining me, he is the Zeb to my Ezra, the David Motters. David, brother, how's it going?
Good, my friend. Good. And ready to react about Visions and have some fun with it. It's been a little while since it came out, so people have had a chance to see it. And like you said, we'll have a little fun and give some insights, our thoughts. And but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to recording with you and get back in the saddle here.
Exactly. We will sing a little song, do a little dance, talk Visions tonight. So let's get things going here. There's not been a whole lot of news lately, but the one big piece of news that came out is they released a poster and a release date for Book of Boba Fett. Of course, we all knew it was coming out in December. We just didn't know when. But we officially now know that Book of Boba Fett will be released every Wednesday starting December 29th.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I am excited about that. We get to make it through Christmas, and while we're recovering from all the Christmas hubbub, we get Book of Boba.
Yeah. You know, I remember when you and I recorded for the last show of season 2 of The Mandalorian, we saw this clip at the end, and when it had that little thing that said Book of Boba Fett coming, December 2021, it was like, holy mackerel. I was kind of hoping, beginning December, and it's like, it's over a year from when, what was it, December 18th might have been the last. I'd have to look at the calendar. The season finale of season 2 of The Mandalorian, right? Yeah. So it's been a wait, man. Over a year.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been a while.
Yeah.
It's good. Hopefully, it'll be well worth the wait. I know I'm excited to see what they have planned, to see what story is being told. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just really want to know. I just really want to see what happens. And actually, it'll be a little over a year because Chapter 16, The Rescue, which was the season finale of season 2, was December 18th.
Okay, so it was right.
So it'll be a year and 11 days.
That's
between the announcement and the actual release. Yeah,
and that is, it's a long wait. I think it'll be worth it, absolutely. I'm ready to see Tam Morrison and Ming-Na Wen and whoever else they've got coming in it. And fingers crossed there hasn't been any leaks like there was for season 2 of Mandalorian. They've kept it, even at IMDb. I heard something that there's only Tam Morrison's name and Ming-Na Wen, no other actors listed in IMDb right now.
Really?
Yeah,
that's surprising.
Yeah, and remember,
but then again,
they
have been very quiet on it, Until they released the poster and the name, there was
Well,
nothing.
no, and below the poster at StarWars.com, below the poster, and the key art, they list Tim Morrison and Ming Na Wen. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I got it. I got IMDb pulled up right now. Yeah, that's all that's listed.
Well, and remember what Jon Favreau was saying in that Disney Gallery Mandalorian, that the making of the season 2 finale that really focusing on Luke. He said, "Look, before the season even started, that Tim Morrison was going to come back as Boba Fett was out there. Even what was it? Timothy Oliphant was going to be in it. He was in it, and then Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. All of those, and he was like, he thought
all that leaked out.
All of it was leaked out, yeah, but not the Mark Hamill part, which is great, And so far that nothing has leaked on this, I like that, and I really want to be, surprised and really enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely. I will say, and I saw this online, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but it was since I haven't been able to confirm it or anything, but there's a unofficial schedule floating around of Star Wars in 2022.
Oh, okay.
And if it is accurate, which I'm saying this now, we don't know if it is, but if it's accurate, it looks like we'd be getting the Andor series, the Kenobi series, the second season of The Bad Batch, along with season 3 of Mando.
Yeah.
So that could be a lot. That could be a busy year.
Oh, yeah, that is.
I mean, we know we know some of those are coming. We know Andor's finished filming. Diego Luna confirmed that in a interview recently. We know Kenobi is finished filming.
Ewan
McGregor said that. So it's all, we haven't heard anything on Mando 3. So we'll wait and see. Maybe we'll get another teaser at the finale of Book of Boba, but you never know. You never know. It's all right there. It's coming. I got a feeling 2022 is going to be a great year to be a Star Wars fan when it comes to this. So
yeah, no, looking forward to it. And and then 2023 would be the next movie. So that'd be nice to just get through all of 2022 and have those series, and then boom, big movie by Patty Jenkins. So we'll see.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be great. So we'll see what happens. And of course, as we get official announcements and official news, we will let you know what is going on through our social media and of course on the show as well. So just keep your eyes peeled and your ears open. You never know what news is going to be flying at you.
Right.
So with that, we're just going to go ahead and wrap that up. And we just want to go ahead and get this discussion going because Star Wars Visions is definitely a unique venture. And definitely we want to discuss that and give it its due time. So for our discussion, like I said, we're discussing Star Wars Visions. There were 9 episodes that were released, many episodes for this season. And we're going to stop and take a look at the first 4 episodes today. So you can essentially call this our Visions Reactions Part 1. So is essentially what you can take a look at here. So let's take a look. Star Wars Visions, of course, a unique show. Several different anime studios, some of the leading anime studios from around the world, stepped up and created their own stories and own animation and basically got to play in the Star Wars sandbox. Gave us 9 awesome stories from a variety of different views, and none of them really interconnected other than the fact that they're Star Wars. Essentially. But so let's take a look here. We're going to start with looking at the first 4 episodes that are on Disney Plus. The first one was called The Duel. This one was written by Mitsuyashi Sakai and directed by Takanobu Mizuno. And of course, if I do apologize, because I will mispronounce the names, and it's not intentionally, but
I'm looking at them along with Aaron here in our show notes, and I don't know that I'd say them right. It's not easy.
Yeah. So I'll say them the best I can, and of course, if they are listening, we apologize. But you are appreciated. So that was an episode about a wandering stranger with a droid with him who has a mysterious past, but he stops to defend a village from powerful bandits who are raiding it. Very cool. The second episode is Tatooine Rhapsody. This one was written by Yasumi Atarashi and directed by Taku Kimura. This one is essentially basically a rock band with big dreams must save one member of their own band from the gangster himself, Jabba the Hutt, and the legendary Boba Fett. The third episode we'll be discussing is called The Twins. This was written by Hiromi Wakabayashi and directed by Hiroyuki Imaishi. This story is about a set of twins born into the dark side clash aboard a massive star destroyer. And last but not least, we will be looking at The Village Bride, which was written by Takahito Onoshi and Hitoshi Haga, and directed also by Hitoshi Haga. This one, of course, a Jedi on the run takes in the unique customs of a remote village under the threat of a warlord. Of course, all these episodes were released all at once on September 22nd, 2021, along with the rest of the season as well. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. David, what were your initial reactions when you sat down and started watching, particularly these 4 episodes of Visions?
Yeah, my initial ones, reactions to these anime shorts were, they're okay. Now that, people might I just need people to bear with me here. I was never a big anime fan. That style, Pokemon, or any of the other shows that have that chibi. I know I'm starting to learn this manga and chibi and all these different styles. They honestly never appealed to me. But I have an open mind about stuff, and I'm gonna watch them because they're Star Wars and they're on Disney Plus. But growing up, I've always preferred the Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo animation, the classic Looney Tunes, and even what Aaron and I have covered with the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch, that 3D animation. I just think that stuff is incredible. Watching these shorts, it didn't change my mind that I like the type of animation I do. I still like that, prefer it. But overall, I enjoyed these shorts, and some of them had some really cool Star Wars content and some cool story twists. Will I go back and watch all of these again? A few of them, but not all of them. In the list that Aaron read off, the first 4, no question, I will go back and watch the Duel again, as well as the Village Bride, and we can get into that a bit more. But those are just some of my initial reactions to these Star Wars Visions shorts.
Very cool. Very cool. You know, one of the things I love about Star Wars is there's so many stories and there's so many different ways the stories are told, that everybody has their own favorites and their own likes and dislikes. And same with Visions. There's going to be people there. I've heard people that love it, people that hate it, and go back and forth. I'm right there in the middle. You know, I've never, like you, David, I never was an anime fan. So I know very little, if nothing, about it. Oh, okay. There is no very little. I knew nothing about anime, except for it comes from it's Japanese. So that's the only thing I really know. And even that may be wrong because it may be Chinese. I don't know. I just know it's from that area of the world. But it's just never been my cup of tea. So when this was announced, cool, Star Wars, let's do it. And I sat down and I watched these 4, and they actually tell some good stories. They're good stories. Probably some of the best animation I've seen. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous how these were animated, and each one's animated differently. They're all in that anime style, but they all have different feels to them when it comes to their animation. And they all told good stories, and I enjoyed them. Like you, David, it's probably one. These will probably be a one and done for me. As I watch them, the chances of, if I was given the choice of sitting down and rewatching Visions or rewatching The Bad Batch or Clone Wars or Rebels, I'll probably take one of the other 3. But you know, the fact that we got to see this and experience it is definitely been fun. It's definitely been eye-opening too, to actually experience something different that's a part of the Star Wars saga. So, you know, my initial thoughts, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fine. It was good. It was enjoyable. I made it through. But on a scale of 1 to 10, when it comes to me for a rewatch, it's probably a 1 or a 2. That's not saying I didn't like the stories. They were good stories. But it just didn't carry for me personally, the rewatchability that some of the other Star Wars saga carries.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, I go back, I watch episodes of the Clone Wars any season, the Bad Batch, Rebels. I've been going back and popping those on and just loving them. And I'll say this, today we're recording this on October 5th. This past Friday, I watched the new Lego Star Wars Halloween special called Terrifying Tales. Really fun, cute. I enjoyed the holiday special last year more than this, but I would go back just for the laughter and rewatchability of those 2. And this is just me and personal preference, before going back to these particular anime shorts. But I get a sense, yeah, like you said, we're pretty much on the same page. Enjoy it, saw them, but going back and watching them over and over, just not going to happen.
Yeah. Understand. So let's take a look here. We got these 4 episodes that we're looking at, Duel and Tatooine Rhapsody, Twins, and The Village Bride. Out of these 4, David, what is your favorite?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely the Duel. I have to say this, this animation style, the black and white with the pops of color, I love it. And I have to admit, it's enough to get me interested in. Hold on. Had an itch in my throat. Just needed to cough. Sorry about that, buddy.
Nope, no problem.
No, I definitely, I know after everything I've said here, I am interested in Ronin, the novel that comes out a week from today. And I don't know. I think I was interested in that even without the Duel, just from following Emma Candon, the author, online. And she just seems really fun and exciting and very knowledgeable, obviously, about anime, but also Star Wars and stuff like that. But there's a lot of stuff in the Duel that I really enjoyed, including him giving a red Kyber crystal and saying it wards off evil, at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
I love the baddie. And of course, listen, Aaron and I do our homework. I read all the stuff at StarWars.com about these episodes and stuff. I know that when the bandit leader, the Sith woman, they're at the waterfall and she strikes the waterfall, that was a homage to Maul, scraping the lightsaber when Qui-Gon is quietly meditating, waiting for that door, the energy field to clear. So those things, I love those homages, and I don't know, I love to see the Death Star droid with a Gatling gun and getting to see a lot of different characters do different things. I love the R2 unit coming in and just shooting out all kinds of missiles and stuff. So there's a lot to really enjoy about it. But there's enough mystery about the Ronin that I definitely will be getting it on Audible.
Very cool. I understand that. Yeah, it was for me. My favorite, actually, I have to agree with you, was the Duel, and it's nice that, because if I remember correctly, Ronin's is almost like a prequel to that, right? It ties into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see that too, because this was my favorite of the ones I've seen. And for me, the reason I liked this one so much was one, was a lot of the reasons you said, but for me, it immediately captured me with that black and white video with the crackling, like it was an old piece of film that you're watching, and you were getting those little crackles across the screen as it was going, and it just gave it an old time a real vintage feel to it. And that just sucked me in from the beginning. And then seeing the lightsaber fight and seeing the post Empire stormtroopers working for this warlord, and it was just very interesting and very fun to watch. It definitely, it's probably the only one that kept me at the edge of my seat watching them, and I really enjoyed it for this one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, apparently, after this ends, I don't know how far in the future the book is, but it does come, instead of before giving us, well, I guess maybe it can still give us backstory, but apparently it's after this episode. Yeah.
So it's a sequel, not a prequel. All right,
yeah.
There we go. I knew it was one of the two. I couldn't remember which one off the top of my head. What is the release date on that book too?
Well, a week from today.
Today. Okay.
And I will say this. Now, again, just to, I want listeners to know, it might sound like, Aaron and I Aaron and I do our homework on all these things. We put a lot of effort into Star Wars, and, I would really, obviously, highly recommend following Emma Candon, the author, on Twitter. She did, and I read it last night. She put a post up that was a thread, and Matt Martin from Story Group commented on it. David W. Collins thanked her for putting it up, but it was her giving a history of anime and a number of different terms, and kind of talking about Kurosawa, talking about, I think, is it John Ford? I think about George Lucas. And she just does such a nice job helping, those of us who are not well schooled in anime to really get a bit of a foundation for it. And so I read that and really enjoyed it. And so I really like to read what she has to say. And then I start to appreciate the whole genre, I guess, the whole animation style as well, the whole type of message they're trying to get across. But yeah, read that last night. You can, if anybody goes to her, Twitter, they can read it. And I would really recommend it if they have any interest in getting a nice foundation in anime. If they don't, she still is very sweet and very enthusiastic about the reviews so far. And so I want to make sure I put that out there. Just really good, positive stuff from her.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So next up, of course, we discussed what our favorite was. What of these four, which one did you like the least?
Yeah, for me, of these four, it was the twins. For me, when I look at the list, and you did such a nice job of getting the writers and directors down and saying their names, for me, it's the Duel, it's the Village Bride, Tatooine Rhapsody, and then the twins, number 4. Now, again, there's parts that I like about the twins, but I think overall, and I know because I watched all the extras. Again, there was an extra on Disney Plus. I'm sure all the listeners of this already know this, that there's a what is it called? Filmmaker Focus, I think they were called, and they would interview the director and writers of each of these 9 shorts, and I watched them all. I watched all of them, and listening to the writer and director of the twins helped me to understand what they were trying to do to really push it animation wise and just intensity wise. But I think, and I've listened to, again, not just read the stuff at StarWars.com or, try to get some foundational background on anime. There's another one, right? It's pronounced anime instead of anime. The twins, I've heard different podcasts, again, doing my homework, talk about this particular episode, and across the board, I've generally heard a consensus that it's not one of their favorites, and that there was some confusion about what was going on. There's quite a bit of exposition there at the beginning, explaining the twin Star Destroyers and wait, how does this work, and with their suits, and who's doing what, and so on and so forth. But again, there's parts that I liked, but I guess I didn't particularly like the inversion. I get it, the inversion of Luke and Leia to being like evil twins. I do get it. It's a different way to tell the story and stuff, but just overall from start to finish, again, like Aaron said, the animation in all of these, it's amazing. I get it. Even though it's not my thing, that I like, I get that this is incredible stuff. But for me, just overall, the twins was my least favorite. I will say this. Funny part in twins, I got a kick out of it. I really like what the writer and director were doing. Is the twins, of course, are humans, and they can breathe in space. But at the very end, when Am, right, Kari is the male, Am is the female. She's floating in space. The droid, it's like the evil C-3PO, has a helmet on because apparently the droid can't breathe in space. But I when I saw that, I thought, okay, I get it. I see it. I feel you. That was pretty funny. But overall, again, out of these 4, twins was my least favorite. How about you, my brother?
Well, this is where we're going to differ, my friend.
Okay.
For me, my least favorite was actually Tatooine Rhapsody. it did have a high point in the fact that I absolutely loved seeing Boba Fett. And I'm willing to say Boba Fett was made for anime because he looked so good. He moved so smoothly. But just the overall story, the plot, it did nothing for me. I was very almost annoyed by it. The thought they could just do a jam session and avoid execution by Jabba. If it felt was a Chris Columbus 80s movie.
Well, yes, well said. Yep.
And it didn't fit. It felt to me, outside of the fact we saw Boba Fett, Jabba, and of course the pod racing arena from episode 1. Outside of that, it was the least, to me, it felt the least like Star Wars to me.
Well, look, for me, the twins and Tatooine Rhapsody are really close. Again, I see the Duel and the Village Bride as quite a bit above both of those. So I'm not far off from you. I've heard some people kind of rave about the song, and I really enjoy Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but it's, I was even listening to Skywalking Through Neverland, Din, who's from F-105 and really big Star Wars guy, big Lord of the Rings Tolkien guy. And of course, he's a musician. He said that, that was so loud, you could almost not even hear the band, that they were playing the vocals so loud. And so for me, it's not like the song really caught me. I completely agree with you about Boba Fett. He looks incredible in anime, and would love to see more of him. Love hearing Tim Morrison, of course. But yes, I'm on the same page with you with that. That and the twins are both, again, if you ask me for least favorite, they're right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're right there together. But Tatooine Rhapsody just didn't sit well with me. So, yeah. All right. So, of course, next up we have we want to take a look at what our favorite moments or favorite aspect from these 4 episodes are. David, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah. For me, it's going to be back to the Duel. I really enjoyed seeing the classic characters. We got to see a Doug. We got to see Trandoshan. Obviously, Death Star droid in there. I heard Jimmy Mack and Jason Swank from Rebel Force Radio say that there was, and I got to go back. Of course, I haven't watched these things multiple times. A poster in the town square area there, where it's the original, I think, New Hope poster.
The original 70, yes.
Oh, you saw it. Okay.
Yes, I did. I saw somebody posted a still photo on Facebook, or excuse me, on Twitter of it.
Oh, good. I got to take a look at that, because I like I said, I'm gonna go back and watch the Duel. I will go back and watch Village Bride, and there's in 5 through 9, when you and I cover that next, there's a couple in there I'll watch a couple times, but I really enjoyed seeing those, and well, of course, the Sullustan, who was the little shopkeeper there, fixing is it R5? I think, yeah, I think Ronan's droid, as well as making the tea. So I enjoyed that. And not only seeing the classic characters, a sand person too. We saw Tusken Raider get shot pretty quick. But the lightsaber battle between Ronan, when he pulls that lightsaber out of the sheath, dude, that's cool. And the bandit leader, voiced by Lucy Liu, when she does the whole spinning umbrella thing, that's cool. And so those are my favorite aspects. I have a question for you, though, and for our listeners. At the end of the battle between Ronan and the bandit leader in the waterfall, he puts his lightsaber into the statue. She jumps through, and he's behind her. Does he have 2 lightsabers? That's what is not clear to me. And in all the other podcasts, I have not heard any podcasters say, hey, wait a minute, you put your lightsaber up in the statue, you're behind her, and you stab her with a red lightsaber. You have two. You have one sheathed on each side. That I wasn't clear about. Do you know, brother?
I do not. I can't say I really caught that. Let me.
Remember that? So
Yeah, you mentioned it. Yeah, I'm actually I'm scrolling through it right now.
yeah. Because at the very end, when he gives the kid the red kyber crystal, he uses the lightsaber, his red one, to break open one of hers, right? And he takes the crystal and then ultimately gives it to the top, I guess, to the he's the town
He's
leader.
got two.
He's got two. Okay.
Because in the scene where they're floating down the river and he on the log and he puts his lightsaber back in his sheath. If you look, there's a second one right below it.
Okay, and maybe that's the whole thing. She doesn't see him get that one out. She doesn't think about that.
No.
And we don't either as viewers, because I was like, wait, what? And I didn't hear anybody on all the other podcasts I listened to. Again, Aaron and I do our homework. I did not hear anybody talk about that. So I'm bringing it up, buddy. There you go. But thank you for clarifying.
No problem. I'm glad you brought it up because there is a, and it makes perfect sense because if you go back to the old samurai movies, they always have two blades and they're always on the same side, one right above the other. The second one is always a little bit smaller, but compared to the larger katana. So this is set up the exact same way.
Nice. Well, see, now I feel better.
So yes, there is a secondary blade there. So very cool.
All right. Cool. Good deal. Well, I wanted to save it for our podcast tonight.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad you did. For me, some of my favorite moments from these episodes, I got a couple. So I tried to narrow it down to one favorite, but I can't. For me, one, it's in the first one is in the duel. It's when the R2 droid with the chopper attitude comes flying through and just pretty much is taking everybody out. Because, he was definitely a combination of Chopper and R2. He had R2's looks and Chopper's attitude.
Yes.
And he now it looks like he's trying to work up Chopper's kill count too. So, but he'll never reach that one. I guarantee you that. The second moment for me was actually in The Village Bride, was when they're telling the background story of the deal that was made with the warlord that was coming to take the bride, seeing that background story and how it connected to the Clone Wars and the Separatists and how this warlord has an army of battle droids, and seeing the battle droids, to me, that felt Star Warsy to me. I mean, when you see a bunch of B1s walking around, that is just perfect. That is prequel Star Wars right there for me. Loved it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the third moment, actually, I mentioned earlier, Boba Fett, man. Boba Fett in Tatooine Rhapsody, even though it's my least favorite episode, it has one of my favorite moments is when Boba Fett shows up and he comes flying through the crowd, guns ablazing to take this guy into custody. It was to me, it was just a perfect, that is how I always pictured Boba Fett as a kid. We only saw him for, a few minutes in Empires and then in Return of the Jedi, but the way we saw him fighting for that bounty in this episode that was the Boba Fett I always pictured in the back of my mind. And I absolutely loved it.
Well said, buddy.
So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's take a real quick break. Then we'll be right back, and we will wrap up this discussion on the first 4 episodes of Visions. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Aaron and David here, and we are wrapping up our discussion of the first 4 episodes of Star Wars Visions. Of course, those being the Duel, Tatooine Rhapsody, the Twins, and the Village Bride. So let's go ahead and take a look at. Let's go ahead and go through our final thoughts on these 4 episodes. David, why don't you start us off there?
Okay. Again, this is in a humble opinion, in a non-anime fans view. Again, just I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm trying. I'm learning. But in my humble opinion, these were pretty good shorts. Again, anime fans might say, look, they're by the top anime studios in Japan. They're incredible. And I'm like, okay, no, I can go with that. But this is my humble opinion, just humble opinion. The only one I didn't like a whole lot was the Twins. Again, Tatooine Rhapsody. Absolutely agree. There's some issues with that. I will say this, that, I've heard other podcasts strongly suggest this, and I just mentioned it a few minutes ago, is I would encourage people to watch the filmmaker-focused documentary style shorts. Again, you just go into the extras tab, right? And they do that. You can do extras under any of the Star Wars movies and so on, but this has it as well. And it did really help me know what the creatives were looking to accomplish in their particular short. That helped. It helped me to understand each of the shorts better. And also, these filmmaker-focused documentary style shorts that are 6-7 minutes long helped me like a few of these shorts even more. I think with The Village Bride, it really helped me like it even more. That, and then of course some of the ones 5 through 9 as well helped me to understand it better. I'll say this too, in those extras, it was really cool to hear about some of these writers and these directors being Star Wars fans their whole lives. Some of them talked about seeing it, in 1977 or 78, whenever it premiered there in Japan, and how it changed their lives. Like, you see a lot of people who worked in the movie industry in America and animation and for Lucasfilm, etc., how it changed their lives and changed their career paths. So that was really neat to hear that from those persons as well. So again, pretty good. Enjoyed them. Very consistent with Aaron. Got through them, watched them, but I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, I've got to have more." Not like when I see Cad Bane come on the screen, in the Bad Batch, and I'm like, my jaw's dropping. But enjoyable overall, and I do look forward to covering 5 through 9 with Aaron in our next episode.
Very good. Very good. Final thoughts for me. These were fun. They were good to have new stories, different stories. And they were all well made. The animation was spectacular. I will say I loved the animation. It was top notch. Soundtracks were good. Voice acting was awesome. It's just not my style, and there's nothing wrong with that. It still doesn't mean just because it's not my style doesn't mean it's not good Star Wars. It is. It's just not for me. And that's what makes the world go round. Not everything is going to be made for everybody. And I am completely cool with that. Just like there are some of those who love the sequels and some of those who do not. Some of those who love the prequels and some of those who do not. There's always going to be something that people aren't happy with or don't like. there's nothing wrong with that. That's what makes us individuals. That's what makes us unique. And I love the fact that we can get these stories that, even though they don't appeal to me, they will appeal to a lot of people. And they're sharing those stories. And I'm glad they are. Because not only, even though it's not my cup of tea, it's going to be important to somebody else. And I love that. And I like the fact that we get to see these and experience these episodes, because I feel like it opens us up to something new.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Dan Z from Coffee with Kenobi announced on his Facebook Live show, he does one every Monday night, that for yesterday's show, Monday's show, they did the top 5 moments from Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales. And the week prior, they did their top 5 moments from Star Wars Visions. But Dan said he's going to come back to Star Wars Visions and go through top 5 moments from each of the shorts over the next, I guess, maybe 9 weeks until they get closer to the Book of Boba Fett coming out as well. So Dan's going to go back to them and look at them a bit more in depth with his top 5s, and that's going to be pretty fun. And so there's still going to be people, talking about this and processing it and discussing it. And I think, each of those kind of helps me like it a little bit more. But I do need to say, and back up what Aaron said, that just because for me it's not my personal cup of tea, just like Aaron said, there's certain Star Wars movies I like that other people don't like, and that's okay. And it makes the world go round. And just like Aaron said, I'm glad that they have these on Disney Plus, and hopefully it opens up all of our eyes to some different creative styles of storytelling and within Star Wars. So I really ditto what Aaron said.
All right. Amen to that. Amen to that. So let us know what you thought of these 4 episodes of Star Wars Visions, or even, and actually the latter 5 as well. You can, of course, contact us, of course, on social media on Facebook and Instagram, both at SW Reactions, then on Twitter at SW Reactions Pod, or email us show at StarWarsReactions.com. We definitely would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on these. All right. So, David, I believe it's time for a new Psychology Corner.
It is, buddy. All new, brand spanking new. And I'm continuing the theme that we've had over the last several Star Wars Reactions episodes, and it's with Freud's defense mechanisms. Tonight, I wanted to go over reaction formation. Most, if not all of us, have experienced or used this defense mechanism in childhood or adolescence, right? It would, in those time frames, it'd be more in the form of picking on a girl or a boy you actually like. I'll throw myself under the bus. I remember liking certain girls, and elementary or middle school, you liked that girl, but you just didn't want to be rejected. So you presented like, no, I don't really like her. Or maybe you picked on her. And of course the teacher was saying, well, it means he really likes you. And the girl's like, really? And of course in my head, I'm like, yeah, really? But I can't show that I do like you. So that's when we have seen that in childhood or adolescence. In adulthood, one of the things we could see it take shape in is where a person, that man or woman, really wants a promotion at work, but they convey to coworkers that they haven't even thought about it, or they care about it. They don't tell their coworkers that they actually applied for it, because if you end up not getting it, you can save face. Well, I didn't even apply for it. I didn't really want it. And of course, your coworkers might not even know that you did, or that you very much wanted it. Again, I've said this many times over 29, 30 years of therapy. Unfortunately, as humans, our egos are bruised. Our self-esteem, our pride is bruised very quickly. And so that's one of the things behind these defense mechanisms that Freud's talking about. It's to protect us. Humans put up a lot of protective barriers. And these defense mechanisms are just some of them. There's others besides defense mechanisms. So, so there's a new one tonight, reaction formation, and add that to, I think we did identification with the aggressor, projection, and I think I'm blocking on another one. But we're going to keep doing some more. There's quite a few of them, and I'm having a lot of fun talking about them and sharing them with our listeners. So there's a brand new condensed Psychology Corner.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you very much, David. They're always so educational. And if somebody has a question about your Psychology Corner or just want to talk Star Wars, how would they go about doing that with you, my friend?
Absolutely. Twitter has never changed. It is at David_Modders, Modders. There's an S at the end. My handle is Jedi Psych. So then second one would be what Aaron was mentioning earlier at Star Wars Reactions. It's David at StarWarsReactions.com if someone had a longer form question or comment. And then I did say on one of our previous episodes, Aaron, that I would get more pictures up on Instagram. I have. Not tons more, but I have. I put some original Wonder Bread cards that came in Wonder Bread back in 77, 78. I have 9 cards, and so I put those pictures up. That was kind of fun. Got some good reactions from people. But I will put up more pictures and stuff. I said I would, and I am. But that is very simply Instagram. Just look up my name, David Modders, and there I am.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. And of course, if you want to talk Star Wars with yours truly, you can always hit me up on Twitter at TAHarris121079, or you can email me, Aaron, at StarWarsReactions.com. All right, David, you know what it's time for, don't you?
Oh my gosh. The Groaner of the Week. I mean, Star Wars Dad Joke of the Week.
You got it. We can't end the show without a new Star Wars Dad Joke of the Week. So I got one for you, and this is just perfect for tonight, and I'm excited for this one. So you ready for this one, David?
I don't know if I can be ready.
Well, ready or not, here I come. Excuse me, I typed the wrong word. It's why. Why was Darth Vader bad at sports?
I don't know. Why was Darth Vader bad at sports?
Because he always choked.
I like that one. That's a good one. Oh my gosh. I was trying to think, wait, is he on the dark side? They always lose. I was trying to Aaron does not tell me the answers to these beforehand, so I don't know. So I try to figure them out. That's awesome. He always choked. That was actually good. That's not a groaner.
No, it's not. That one was pretty good. I liked that one. That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Touche. All right, buddy. This has been a fun to talk to you again. It's always been a pleasure, David.
Oh, feel the same way towards you, buddy.
All right. And we want to thank everybody for listening in. Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We hope y'all are doing well and staying healthy and living the best life that you can. We're praying for you. We appreciate y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Remember, this is your place for elegant discussion for a more civilized age.
If you'd like to share your thoughts, you can email us at show@StarWarsReactions.com for our show notes and the latest news from the Star Wars universe. Visit our website at www.StarWarsReactions.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at SWReactionsPod or on Facebook at Star Wars Reactions. If you enjoy our show, please leave a review on iTunes. This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or by Lucasfilm Limited. It's intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, All names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and the respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Star Wars Reactions unless otherwise indicated. Star Wars Reactions, elegant discussion for a more civilized age.